We also include what we call the 2 arrows practice. And so what we know is that when people who practice mindfulness are given a painful stimulus and encouraged to just practice on the physical sensations themselves and not on the associated judgmental thoughts or worries about the pain, and trying not to judge the pain, that they actually report less pain. The intensity of the pain is less while practicing mindfulness than without, or in situations where they're focusing on just the qualities, the kind of judgmental aspects of the pain itself. And so this notion that it's possible to separate the physical sensations of the pain, the first arrow, from all of the secondary suffering, the why me, the why is this happening, the anxiety, the sadness, the frustration, the worry, the guilt, the depression, that second arrow. But this might be really useful as a skill for women to practice in situations where they're actually feeling pain. So this is one of the exercises that we actually do in session with women, and we call it the 2 arrows. And it goes something along the lines of what I'm about to read to you right now. And this is a little excerpt taken from our treatment manual. So for those of you who are listening at this point, might be a good opportunity to sort of settle into your seat, get into a comfortable position, one that promotes a state of relaxed wakefulness. If you feel compelled to close your eyes, certainly be invited to do so. If you're afraid of falling asleep, you can certainly keep your eyes open, perhaps slightly open, maybe fixed on a specific target. And take note of the following instructions. So I'll ask you to begin by finding a mild physical pain somewhere in your body. Bring careful attention to the actual sensations that make up the pain. If there's no obvious pain in your body at the present, this might be an invitation to deliberately provoke some pain. And so you can do so by holding your arm up in the air. And you'll note that after holding your arm in this way for some time, that it starts to create some sensations of physical discomfort or pain. You might also elect to sit on your foot, stand, get into some sort of posture that might lend itself to creating a mild physical pain for you for the next few moments as we're here together. So now that you've taken note of the location of this pain, I'll ask that you bring careful attention to the actual sensations that make up the pain. See if you can define the physical boundary of the pain, how far it extends, and what sensations the pain is made up of. Is it sharp or dull? Does the intensity of the sensations making up the pain change over time? Can you notice the very beginning and end of each of the smaller sensations that make up the larger experience? While you are examining these sensations, see if you can notice how the attention tends to want to move away from the pain. This resistance to simply allowing the uncomfortable sensations to exist and be with them in the moment is an example of something that we call aversion at the level of bare sensation. Do not attempt to remove that resistance. Simply pay careful attention to it. And when the resistance disappears, bring your attention back to the physical sensations that make up the pain. When the resistance arises again, pay careful attention to it. Keep doing this, returning to the physical sensations of the pain, and then switching to noticing the aversion to the pain when it occurs. Notice also if there are any follow-on physical sensations associated with the resistance, such as muscular tension, straining, a slight furrowing of your eyebrow, maybe sensations of sleepiness, sensations of restlessness, maybe subtle changes to your breath, as well as follow-on thoughts, fear, wanting to do something to make the pain go away, other intentions. Try to notice all of the physical and mental sensations of wanting to have a different experience. Notice also that aversion too is not permanent. Like other sensations, it does not last. Next, see if you can find a pleasant physical sensation in your body and pay careful attention to it. See if you can notice all the various physical sensations that make up the pleasant feeling in your body, and note these sensations in as much detail as possible. While you are examining these sensations, see if you can notice how the attention can have a grasping or clinging quality to it. Notice how there is a desire for the pleasant sensation to continue or increase in intensity, rather than simply allowing the pleasant sensation to exist as it is and be with it in this moment. This grasping or clinging, this resistance to simply allowing the pleasant sensation to arise and pass away is an example of what we call attachment at the level of bare sensation. It can be really useful to get to know attachment intimately in order to be able to recognize it more easily. If you can, focus on the attachment to the pleasant sensation. Do not attempt to remove it. Simply pay careful attention to it. When the attachment disappears, bring your attention back to the physical sensations that make up the pleasant feeling. When attachment arises again, pay careful attention to it. Keep doing this, returning to the pleasant physical sensations, and then switching to noticing the attachment. Notice also if there are any follow-on physical sensations associated with the attachment. Muscular tension, straining, changes in your breath, a slight leaning in, as well as an awareness of any follow-on thoughts. Fear that the pleasant sensations will go away, wanting to do something to make the pleasant sensations stay, wanting to look for other pleasant sensations. Try to notice all the physical and mental sensations of wanting the transient physical sensation to persist. Notice also that attachment, too, is not permanent. Like other sensation, it does not last. With that, I'll ask you to return your focus back to the group, back to the presentation. So that was a bit of an illustration of the 2 arrows practice that we do in session with women. And so, like I've asked you to do here, We encourage women to create a mild physical pain in group, something like holding their hand in the air or taking note of another non-genital pain in their body. But then for homework, we provide them with a recording that we've professionally recorded that invites them to become aware of their genital pain. And so they are invited to provoke a mild genital pain with their hand, or a dildo, or an accommodator, or whatever they wish, just a mild pain, not an extreme level of pain. And then practice observing their aversion to the sensations, as well as perhaps their attachment to other pleasant physical sensations. And so we're watching aversion and attachment as sensations that arise in the body and in the brain, just as other sensations and mental events arise in the body and the brain. So we apply equal emphasis to all of the sensations that arise. So this is a way of helping the women practice letting go, loosening the grip of that second arrow while experiencing pure sensation at the level of that first arrow.